word in front of her.
Oh, well.
That's what I said.
You should have said, well, saying the word can't offends me.
Well, no, what happened was I spent another 20 minutes waiting for someone to come help me as opposed to just figuring it out myself because I was almost there. Because I was trying to weigh my zucchini and I kept pushing the organic button. Well, I say kept, I hit it twice on accident. I'm just like, that is not the right button. You're retarded. And she jumped on me for it. So I said, fuck off. And so waited. I just waited. I said, ma'am, I'm not in a hurry. You can come help me in a minute.
Alrighty. And
UFOs over Montana, Alaska, Lake Michigan, and Canada.
South Carolina. The one over Montana ended up all the way into South Carolina before they decided to shoot it down.
Oh, there's nothing there to shoot down. These are military exercises getting prepared to do whatever they're going to do next to galvanize us into going to war with Russia or whoever it is.
That'd be China this time.
Well, I mean, they keep saying China. It's like, how is China our enemy when 95% of all the shit in everyone's house in the United States was made somewhere in China, probably, or in Asia, you know?
Yeah, I was going to say, because a lot of my stuff is out of Korea.
Which is parts sourced in China, assembled in Korea, shipped to the United States. Let's not pretend that nothing's being built in China just because it says Korea on it.
Yeah, because
or even Mexico or Canada, because if you check, they source their material from way out somewhere else.
Oh yeah,
and then like I was doing when I was working in the 15-minute cities, because I know what they are and we're building them right now in Seattle. And when I was working on one of the buildings in it, they had windows that tint because I was working in a higher echelon area, so they could tint their windows with their phone. You don't want to see nothing. Okay, so if one of these windows didn't work, normally when there's not a pandemic and there's not a supply chain dilemma, takes about 10 weeks to get that specific window. Regular window, just your regular window, 2-pane vinyl window.
Right.
It may be 8 weeks depending on back orders. This one, 10 weeks, because it had to be manufactured in Mississippi, assembled in Atlanta, Georgia, and then shipped to Canada to have whatever electronics put into it, and then shipped to Seattle to be installed. So if anything happened, it was 2-3 months at least to get a replacement.
Yeah,
and that was back before the supply chains were complete shit.
Well, welcome to another episode of Veg Bitching. You must be joking.
You got it. It's true. You must be joking.
Right?
That's all it is, man. And you got to repeat stuff because that's apparently what it takes to pound this stuff into people's heads. Wake them up a half a person at a time.
Well, that's the way it is with kids too, and that just shows how immature and how belittling people can be.
Man.
Because you got to tell a kid 3 times to get them to do anything, unless you got to tell them the first time, okay, so that they can go. So it kind of brings them out of their reverie. You tell them the second time to kind of get their attention, and then you tell them the third time so that they're focused enough to actually comprehend what you want them to do.
And then they don't do it, and you got to tell them again.
Well, that's when you get violent, smack them around a bit,
Now you're talking old school.
You betcha. No, old school, they only told you once. They walked in and said, Gary, that got your attention. Then they'd tell you what you wanted to do.
Oh, man.
And if you didn't do it, then you got your ass kicked.
3 names.
Well, that was my mother.
Like you assassinated someone. All 3 names.
Yeah, my mother would use the middle name and the last name. She'd get the whole thing when she was right at the end of her rope, as she put it. And there were so many times I was thinking, boy, I wish she was at the end of her rope. Because I know this is going to hurt.
with no chair but no feet. Yeah, I often thought about buying some rope for Christmas to give to one of my parents when they said, I'm at the end of my rope. Here's some more rope.
Yeah, and then when you came to, you'd find out that they used it to tie your feet and hands.
Oh, yeah. And then whip me with whatever was left.
Yeah. Yeah, I felt that pain myself. So you ended up getting hacked last week. So
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
got it all
I
straightened
didn't,
out.
you know, I joked about it last week,
Yeah,
but it
right.
turns out it was real because I had all this stuff going because I was trying to, do our show. And as right before we were doing it, I wanted to get something I had done on Twitter because I don't Twitter anymore.
Right.
And I had it still installed on my computer. I don't have it on my phone at all, but I had it on my computer. So I was going to find something that I had posted because I wanted to repost it into Twitter. So I log into the TikTok, or tried to, 3 or 4 times, failed, can't remember the password because it's been so long, and I was just like, screw it. And all of a sudden this computer started, and then when I broke and I had to do the reboot, I noticed in the corner another person using your computer. I was like, oh, that's kind of funky. Well, maybe it's because I have so much crap open. So, I do the reboot. Next morning, about 4 a.m., phone goes off. Boop. Someone's using your card in Singapore. I'm like, oh, okay. Guess I'll call the bank. So yeah, someone through TikTok hacked my account or whatever, got my credit card information, and they verified the account to something, and then they spent like $20. And it's just like, okay, neat. And the last time this had happened, I didn't notice because I bought something. Usually, when I want to buy something online, I'll go to Amazon. I look for what I'm going to buy, find the cheapest seller, go to their personal store or website off of Amazon, and then order it from them. So one of those orders, here's my information, send me my thing. I did receive the product, but like a month later, I noticed a withdrawal in my account. I was like, oh, that's funny. So I get my statement and I look and there's another exact same withdrawal. I was like, oh shit, someone's stealing my money. So I go to the bank. I'm like, hey, these things are not me. And they're like, okay, so it got solved. But again, I try not to keep much money in the bank just because that's too easy. It's too easy to get your shit stolen.
Oh yeah. Yeah, there was let's see here. Once that they got me or tried to get me for somebody was buying watches. These are $1,100 watches, and they purchased 4 of them. 4 $1,100 watches. Count them. I only have 2 wrists.
You got 2 ankles.
Yeah, but I'm old. I ain't checking time like that.
I ain't doing that Russian clog dance just to see what time it is at my feet.
So, but they did it through my what you call it, the online buying account.
Yeah, PayPal.
Yeah, that's it. They did it through PayPal, and it took. I ended up having to call the cops and get them to come over and take a look at the deal. And I'm going, you can check around, man. I ain't got it. I don't even wear a watch. I use my phone, And so they went ahead and they filled out a report. And then I was able to send that to PayPal. And it still took them 2 weeks to reply one way or another. And then finally I got a thing in the mail about a month and a half later telling me that it's been resolved and I didn't owe them anything. Because it was for a PayPal credit, and which I don't even have. So I don't even use PayPal anymore. I mean, that was just...
I stopped using PayPal, but I got lucky. I stopped using PayPal way before they did that $2,500 fine for misinformation thing. But someone had hacked into my PayPal account, and they were moving Bitcoin through it.
Oh, really?
I was like, that's interesting. Because I had used it to buy Bitcoin, so I had like $50 in Bitcoin in my PayPal Bitcoin account. And so I was like looking, it went up to 500 and something one day. I was like, oh, that's neat. Pulled it out. Then it went up to 1,200, and then it went down to minus 1,100. And PayPal contacted me, and I was like, well, that ain't me, so fuck off.
Yeah.
Here, you want the 250 I took back? Too bad. Fuck you.
Then there was a couple of times where they tried. The bank actually contacted me, wanted to know if I was in Spokane buying a car.
All right.
Twice. Yeah. It's like, no, I'm not in Spokane. I'm
See,
here.
that's why I don't keep that much money in the bank. That and you have to beg for it back, and they take your money and they make money off of it and give you a pittance.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it won't be long, and you'll be getting a bill for having your money in savings instead of.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just wait till negative interest hits. Oh man, they tried that in Germany and they implemented it, and people complained for about a month, and now it's all quiet. Guess it's working.
Yeah. Well, it ain't going to be working for us. You know, they start taking money out of a savings account, they can bite me. You know, we'll take the money out of the savings account. You know.
That's why I closed all that shit down. I got her to keep the minimum in. Minimum 10% for her because she pays all the big bills.
Right.
So other than that, fuck the banks, man.
Yeah, we. For me, the bank to keep from having a fee, they want me to put in $400 in direct deposits every month.
Yeah, tell them to fuck off.
Well, I go ahead and I have
Well, I
$800.
guess it happens because your check direct deposits, but then go withdraw it.
Well, I get $800, a month, so it
So
goes
the
into my
direct
account. And I'm
deposit is
good.
covered.
Yeah.
The little dance is covered.
Right, and then, of course, everything comes out all through the month. Like today, it was, $60 for booze and 75 for gas, Well, now that booze also had a bag of chips, so.
Ooh, I need to go get some beer for tomorrow's show. Whoop, whoop.
Yeah, I went ahead and I bought a 30-pack of beer. I got a half gallon of Canadian Mist and a half gallon of vodka. So.
You getting ready for a Super Bowl party?
No, I'm just getting ready for the week.
I'm just getting ready for tomorrow.
No, I've actually decided I'm going to start losing weight. So instead of, so now I'm drinking light beer instead of the good beer. But instead of drinking beer every day or every other day or whatever, I'll go ahead and I'll switch over. I'll drink Chianti, a couple of glasses of Chianti one night. Then I'll have a couple of drinks of Canadian Mist the next night, and then a couple of drinks of vodka the next night. And then I'll have my beer, and then do that again, and just go around that way there. And if I mix anything with it, it's diet soda, like Diet 7-Up, with the vodka. And,
So you're not trying to lose weight. You're just saying you're trying to lose weight.
No, actually, the vodka and the whiskey is very low calorie, and with the sugar-free soda, that's low calorie. So.
Yeah, so you're not trying to lose weight.
Well, I've been dropping a couple of pounds, so.
Sit ups and move that.
That's pre-morning poops too.
Quick. Sit ups and stopping drinking will move that scale faster than you want it to move.
Yeah, I know, but it'll also make me hungrier faster. As long as I do it slowly, my body doesn't say you're starving to death, and I don't get really, really hungry. If I try and lose it too fast, then my body starts getting hungry.
Well, you got to have the proper caloric intake when you're doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because if you do it too fast, then your body's like, oh, he's fucking up. I better store these sugars as fats.
Right.
Yeah. And if you do it too slow, ain't nothing happening. So
yeah,
like I said.
So, But no, it's
Let me
working.
drink this sugary alcohol because I'm trying to lose weight. Oh, it's beautiful. Yep.
Anyway, so
We are not dietitians.
that's a fact. You just look at our waistlines.
The 5 lines waist in a line.
Well, evidently you've been getting the word out, and it seems to be working.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Um, you know how every time we get to talking about politics, you're always saying we should just line them all up and hang them and burn them in the town square.
We should burn them at the stake in the town square. Yes.
Okay, well, on
A couple of them
February
got assassinated.
what?
A couple of them got assassinated in Jersey.
Yeah.
But they weren't really politicians as much as they were city council members. But I wonder what they were working on that someone did not agree with.
Well,
Because that was not just a random shooting.
no, it wasn't. It was not a random shooting. Okay. The first one was a mistake. They got the wrong person.
Right.
Okay. It says an unknown assailant killed Eunice Dwamfor,
Yeah.
a New Jersey council person, outside her home.
Uh-huh.
Let's hear. It rocked the community. Just a week later, someone murdered another Jersey council member in what seems to be an eerie coincidence. However, let's hear. An investigation quickly ensued, and law enforcement pinpointed a suspect, 58-year-old Gary
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
T.
I
Curtis.
wonder where you were the other day.
Within hours, authorities found him dead of a self-inflicted gunshot wound. According to a Somerset County prosecutor's office, Heller was the intended target. So the second victim was the intended target.
Right.
Okay, that was Russell Heller. Now, he was found inside his vehicle outside a local emergency energy company. According to the Somerset Carrot, Heller was the intended target, and investigators deemed the shooting an isolated incident. It turns out they attributed it to the crime to a dispute between subordinate and supervisor. So somebody's panties gotten a twist.
Yep.
But it seems to me like, you got the word out there. Instead of talking to them or whatever, just burn them.
Yeah, but those are the wrong ones.
I don't know.
The ones in D.C., not the ones in Jersey.
Well, it's close. It's still on the East Coast.
It is close. If it would have been the governor or the mayor, yeah, but city council members. I mean, and believe me, I understand the ire with the city council members. Look at Enumclaw with that halfway house for sex criminals right across the street from a school bus stop for children.
Uh-huh.
And they're like, well, the parents have to deal with it. Okay, well, I'll walk my kid to school and I will hold a gun on my hip. And if someone even comes out and talks to the kids, I will shoot his foot.
Oh, yeah. Here you go. 2 people are in custody for allegedly carjacking 2 people.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. And trying to carjack a third. I saw the video on this, too. It was weird.
Yeah.
Let's hear.
Carcore.
The incident started Thursday in Des Moines, and they saw when the police saw 2 suspects sleeping in a stolen truck that was parked in a parking lot.
All right.
The officers tried to deflate the tires to prevent the subjects from escaping.
Uh-huh.
But they were unable to get away. But they were able to get away. Des Moines Police Department did not chase them due to state laws, which I still think is complete ridiculous. Okay.
Yep.
Let's hear. Eventually, they did end up having to chase him anyway, which was nice. Minutes later, the suspects tried to carjack another vehicle at gunpoint, but they were unsuccessful and drove off in the first stolen vehicle. The pair were driving in just. I gotta get my glasses.
I can't see what I'm saying.
Well, I forgot to turn the other lights on too. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we are.
We got a real juxtaposition going here. I'm on the light side. You're on the dark side.
Yeah, I'm gonna. I'll
Lord, tell me the way.
yeah. Let's see here. Tried to carjack another vehicle at gunpoint, were unsuccessful, and drove off in the first stolen vehicle. The pair were driving on just the rims.
Oh yeah, I bet.
Okay.
I guess the tire doesn't stop the car.
Yeah. Minutes later, the suspects tried, because they brandished a weapon at the victim. Police were able to chase the suspect. Both Kent and Des Moines police gave chase. The vehicle crashed, and suspects got out and carjacked another vehicle successfully at gunpoint. The woman that got carjacked recalls the terrifying moments when the man and woman pulled up behind her and her partner's parked car at a gas station, pointed a gun at them, and told them to get out of the car. And now they were driving a black pickup, and they pulled in right behind them. And this is the dumbest thing. Not only did they pull in behind, and then the driver got out, the driver got out of the pickup, goes over, sticks a gun in the driver's side part of the car, and then gets in the car after everybody's out, gets in the car, and the other person gets into the car, and then they back out, hitting the pickup that they parked behind the car. And then so they hit the pickup twice trying to get away from where they parked it.
Well, I never credited criminals for being that smart.
Yeah. It's just, it is getting so ridiculous.
Oh, yeah. It's going to get worse before it gets way worse, and then it's just going to mellow out at worse, and then we're going to be in World War III.
Yeah, there is that. Now, I was watching, let's see here. You remember that the guy that got all beat up and, that Tyree, the
kid
beat up and killed by the police?
The cop killed?
Yeah, in Nashville there, right? That was Nashville, right?
I think so.
Yeah. There was a cop here that actually was talking about that, and it was actually very well done. I thought he did it really well. And if you don't mind, I'll go ahead and I'll play the video for you.
Go ahead.
Okay.
I mean, for me, from what I heard, it was a revenge kill.
I watched the video, and the first thing for me is just, I'm angry. I'm angry.
See it? No, I cannot see it.
I'm ashamed. I got really emotional. It just makes it so
from what I heard, it was a
it's
revenge
so
kill.
hard to build trust with the public in Pierce County and in Washington State. Something that happens across the other side of the country can affect us so much. And you see something like this, and it totally, I can understand why people might not trust a police officer the next time they see him.
Keep your hands up where they are. Just stay still. Don't move.
I saw some body cam footage of you and some other deputies arresting a man recently who was wanted for some pretty dangerous crimes and was armed with a large knife. I didn't see you beat the guy down. I didn't see you tase him. I didn't see you pepper spray him. He wasn't, responding well initially to your commands. But yeah, you got him safely into custody. What's the difference between an arrest like that and what you're seeing in Memphis?
The best thing I can do for people is to show you and let you into our world and see how we actually deal with people, which is why it's so important for us to show you body camera footage of arrests that we're making.
There he is, right there.
Tell you the details of the types of crimes that we're seeing and how our deputies are getting these guys into custody. In the video you're talking about when we arrested the guy with a large knife, he was somewhat compliant because he had his hands open and out in front of him, but he was not listening to anything we were telling him. You rammed the police officer's car. You almost ran over another police officer.
Let's go sit down.
you have a dog barking at you that we can let go at any point because he's not following commands anymore. But it's on us to kind of gauge and see how people are reacting. And although he wasn't verbally being compliant, he wasn't posing a threat to us, which is why we were able to move up and just gauge him by grabbing his arm. And at that point, he didn't resist. We were able to take him in custody, no problem. There was 5 of us there.
Oh, listen to us, okay? Listen to us. You have a knife.
2 of us had arms. Somebody else got on his back. Somebody else grabbed his legs to make sure he couldn't struggle or fight with us, because the danger becomes when he removes that knife. Now we have to do what we have to do to protect ourselves. And we don't ever want it to get to that point. So we set up and we try to use as many deputies as we can, have as many options as we can to resolve it without having to use any extra force.
You know, we have a problem with stolen guns in our state being used in crimes. Oftentimes, traffic stops will help recover those stolen guns or even lead to an arrest of a wanted felon. Have you had any recent examples like that?
Yeah, just last night, January 31st, we had a deputy in our mountain detachment pull over a vehicle for an illegal turn. When he got up to the vehicle, he started talking to the driver and immediately noticed a gun was in between the driver and passenger seat.
What's that in the center? Don't reach for it. It looks like a gun handle. Is that a gun?
He ordered the driver out of the car, detained him, then detained the passenger, went back up to the vehicle, had dispatch run it, and it came back stolen. So this was a stolen vehicle now that he had. He had both the occupants detained. When he ran their information, the male was a convicted felon.
You told me that you're a convicted felon and there's a gun in the car.
The firearm that was found inside the vehicle, when he got permission to go grab the firearm, that was also stolen.
Are there any other firearms in the car? No, sir.
So our deputy did a great job. It wasn't that somebody called in and said that there's a guy who's a felon in a stolen vehicle with a stolen gun in it. The deputy just did his due diligence. He saw a traffic violation. He made a stop, and he found all this other information. We are responsible for the people in our care. We're responsible for the people in our community. And if we're not doing what we're supposed to be doing, then why are we even here?
There was a guy arrested. He shot at 2 Puyallup police officers. I saw the guy had an injured hand when he was in court. He wasn't injured during the arrest, though, was he?
No. And that's one of the things, like, we see this incident where the cops might have been upset because he shot at them, which does heighten the level of stress and the level of force that we have to respond with. When they're looking for them, they have their guns out, and they should. But when a person gives themselves in, we have to have restraint. And that's what we see when 2 Puyallup officers were shot just a little while ago. The guy came out, surrendered, laid down on the ground, put his hands behind his back, and the SWAT team took him into custody, no problems. I come up to the scene and start getting some footage, and I see the guy walking over. 2 officers are helping, walking into the ambulance. They sit him down on the stretcher. The firefighters and paramedics are there to help this guy, and nobody's roughhousing him. Nobody's calling names. You know, we're professional in every sense of the word, and that's the thing that the majority of the police officers that go out there and do this job every day are just that. They are professionals. And I think that gets lost when we see videos like this, because that really doesn't represent who we are. But those are the videos you're going to see more than the videos of the officers gently taking someone into custody. Because you have to remember, we're doing, just in Pierce County alone, we have 2,000 calls for service amongst.
I love how they want to scream all cops are bad, and I love how they want to scream defund the police. Well, look what happens when you defund the police. You got to hire negligent people.
Yeah.
And not all cops are bad. It's just not all cops are good.
Yeah, and that's the way you need to look at it. You know,
and that's
because
the way everything is. Not all guys on that carpenter job are good. Not all people working over there at that Kroger Mart are good, you know?
Yeah. Not all those people doing that podcast are good.
But between the 2 of us, not all of us are good.
Yeah, but in our defense, not all of us are there either.
That's true. The only thing I hate is the forced servitude of the cop dog.
Well,
they train it to maul you, and if you touch it, that's assault of an officer. But if I have a dog and they say, "Oh, I'm scared of it," they can shoot it without repercussion.
yeah, well, Yeah, that's double standards, though. you know.
Yeah, that's fuck 'em standards.
But although your dog and my dog, I think are both safe.
No, mine's a pit bull. They'll shoot that thing on sight if they have to come in my yard for any reason.
Yeah, he is such a sweetie, though.
Yeah, that don't matter. That does not matter because it will be a stranger at the fence. He will bark and they will shoot. If they're coming in to do something, if they're coming to take me, they're gonna shoot the dog.
Yeah.
If they're just coming to go, hey, we're scouting the neighborhood, just wondering if you want to be part of it, then they'll be like, not shooting my dog.
Yeah, well, I have had them come here when the alarm went off. But when we had that roommate, that idiot that used to live here with us, when she lived here, she kept setting the alarm off, and the cops showed up a couple of times. And that's when we had Spike, the crazy dog. And so, I told him, well, yeah, don't go in there until I get home. I'm on my way, And then I found out that it was her coming in and not bothering with the alarm.
Right? There's a reason we have this alarm.
Yeah. Yeah, she was a wacky witch, or a woman. We'll call her the WWB.
All right.
Wacky witch bitch. Anyway, yeah, so, but I wanted to get that out there and everything. I wanted people to know that, most cops are like the ones that we just saw.
Yeah.
And I've been arrested, and most of them did act in a very professional manner, to the best
I
of their
bet
ability.
that guy at that traffic stop, if that gun had not been present, and if he had had valid ID, I bet he would have got away.
Could be.
Because if he was cooperative, I'm so sorry. You got ID? Yes, right here. Okay, you know what? Next time, be careful. Get the hell out of here.
Could have been.
As opposed to, I got a gun. Guess I'm gonna have to run your ID. Oh, look, you're a felon.
Yeah, not a good combination. Yeah.
No, and again, it's because most criminals are stupid, opportunist cowards.
Oh, well, check this out. Let's see here. Cool. We do have some people watching. So,
What?
Hey, everybody there.
Good morning. Welcome to our rants.
Now, we also have a message. It's from Steven.
Steven?
Yeah. Mr.
Hi.
Mr. Five Toes.
Mr. Five Toe?
Yeah.
Roto the Five Toe?
He says, wow, I actually made it to a live show. About 2 weeks ago, someone made a purchase on my debit card. I refuted it, and the bank shut off my card and issued me a new one.
Yeah, I'm waiting my week to 10 days for my new one, Steve.
Yeah. So.
And again, the thing about the guy whoever taking it straight out of my account, the two $100 withdrawals straight out of my account, that was because they had my routing number and my account number. Somehow they were able to get into my account and take my money out. I was like, okay, well, I guess I'll get a new account. Thank you. Yeah, it's kind of fun. But you ever watch the remake of the movie Heat, the one with Al Pacino and what's his nuts, the guy with the elbow, Val Kilmer? It's where they rob the banks. Okay, well, in that movie, one of the characters makes contact with the info guy. So he's talking to the info guy, and the info guy is just like, "Yep, here's all the information." And he asks him, "Well, where do you get it?" He's like, "That shit's just floating around. You just got to know how to grab it and how to decipher it. It's all floating around. It's everywhere." So we're in the information age. There are no more secrets.
Yeah, there is. That's a fact. Oh. For some strange reason, our Facebook feed decided to stop, according to Steve.
Well, it's because we're telling the truth.
Well, that could be too.
You can't be saying, cops are okay on Facebook. They want the narrative doesn't fit. The vision narrative isn't there when you say, hey, those guys are doing a good job.
Yeah, there is that. Yeah. Let's see here. What the hell?
Hey, those police officers? Oh yeah, they're terrible. No. I was gonna say they're pretty cool. You're a fascist. I love it when they call me a fascist, and then they use Franklin Delano Roosevelt as a true anti-fascist virtue. And it's just like, well, that guy put people in internment camps, right?
Yeah, it kind of makes you wonder, don't it?
Yeah, it's like apparently you don't understand what fascism is, but then again, we've been living under it for so long. It's the norm. We like to call it democracy.
Alrighty, let's see here.
UFOs, man, all over.
Yeah. And it's funny how nobody bothered saying anything about the ones that they say all of a sudden now were going all over the place when
Trump the dumper.
Yeah, when Trump was in office, he didn't know about it. Nobody bothered telling him.
And it was like just magical how all of a sudden, there were 300 Trump. It's like, well, when Trump was in office, if he was in his penthouse apartment in Trump Tower and got in the elevator and farted, we would have known what it smelled like before he got to the lobby.
Yep.
So I'm going to go ahead and call bullshit on there were balloons under Trump. Oh, they didn't make it to the U.S., to the continental U.S. They were over Hawaii and shit. Yeah, whatever. Keep backpedaling. It's all a distraction.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
I mean, all the Republicans take the House. They start looking into the Democrats because that's what they do. When the Democrats are in, they go after the Republicans. When the Republicans are in, they go after the Democrats. There's no real politics happening anymore. It's just get them, waste taxpayer money. So, distraction after distraction to keep you from watching the real story, what's going on, and even all of that stuff is still a distraction from what's really happening. And right now, in my opinion, the real problem is that we continue to send money for proxy wars in Israel and in Ukraine and into the Congo. We don't care. If we cared, we'd stop.
Well, it's another way for them to try and beat us down by building up a deficit that we'll never be able to pay out. And just, we're going to end up having to be in another world war here pretty soon just to cover our debts.
That's pretty much what's happening. And so these distractions that keep coming are just, I'm wondering what the event is going to be that they're going to use to galvanize all of us into saying, okay, fine, we need to go drop bombs on those people, and we need to send our children to go murder them.
Yeah. They got so many different excuses that they're already using for so many different things. I think they're going to have to cut back on some of them so they can reuse them. Oh. But then again, the American attention span is so
7 seconds.
If that. I mean, it's getting shorter all the time.
That's the goldfish.
I think a goldfish actually could graduate most college courses at this point compared to most people.
Well, we know they get special treatment. Oh, the golden child is here. Blurp, blurp. Oh, did you hear that thesis? Blurp, blurp. Oh, how existential. Blurp.
I would argue with you if I could.
Hey, once in a while, I'm like a broken clock. Once in a while, I'm correct.
Yeah, well, a broken clock is right twice a day.
Not necessarily. Not if you go with quantum physics, because it's off by 1,000th of a second by the time it gets to that second I'm supposed to be right. Just saying. Broken clock is only right once.
No, it's actually right twice a day because eventually it's going to go by again.
No,
Yeah.
it's right once.
Only if it has an AM, PM, or a date.
The minute it breaks is the last moment it's right.
No. The analog clock is right twice a day.
Okay, tell me how the Earth has made its fastest rotation recorded, and a clock is still right twice a day.
There's still 24 hours in a day.
No, there aren't.
And until they say otherwise.
If there were 24 hours in a day, there wouldn't be a leap year.
Well, that's 365 days a year. So every 4 years we got to make a
hours
claim.
in a day, there wouldn't be a leap year.
Yeah, well, yeah. But either way, there's a midnight and there's a noon every day. There's a 4 o'clock a.m., a 4 o'clock p.m. So if it breaks on at 3 o'clock, it's going to be right twice a day. It may not be in a celestial in the celestial thought, but as far as technically, yeah, it's right twice a day.
Yeah, technically, it's right the second it breaks. Then it's no longer correct.
Yeah, because time still
It
goes
will
on.
forever be lagging.
Well, I still disagree. And we both know that since, I'm always right.
Time doesn't exist anyway, so
It's a concept.
it's all about now. We all exist now. And even when you say the word now, by the time you get to the W,
yeah,
now's on. It's back there.
Right.
Now.
That's why it sounds that way.
Exactly.
That's why now is now.
Shit, before you get done with the end, now is done. Now.
Unless you're planning ahead.
I'm always planning for head. Wait, what did you say?
When I say now, it's on the W. Now. And if I think far enough ahead, I can take my time. Now.
Then. What's more accurate, now or then? Neither. So, no more arguments about time. Clocks are wrong. All the clocks are wrong. Numbers are bad. Words are evil.
No, numbers are good. Words are evil. Yeah. The numbers are good.
It's amazing how much power words can have.
Yeah.
If you're a charismatic speaker, it almost doesn't matter what words you use as long as you can keep the audience enthralled. It's just the power of the hypnosis of the
but
rhythm.
it works the other way too. I mean, if you're a really nasty person, you can take one little sentence and ruin somebody's whole day.
Oh, yeah.
You can piss off a country.
Oh, yeah.
A talented asshole can piss off a whole country. In just a
Our
couple
government is the largest, most well-funded, blindly supported terrorist organization on the planet.
Now, see, I thought you were going to say it's the big that Washington D.C. Congress is actually the biggest outhouse in the world.
You know what's interesting?
Because think of all the assholes in there.
I saw a thing the other day that said it showed how Washington D.C. is not a part of the United States, and it showed how the Vatican is not a part of Italy or Rome, or whatever. And I think the other one was London, was not a part of England. These are all non-specific, non-countryized states that are in these countries, and one, the one's the money, one's the military, and one's the religion. It's weird how they put it together, but it was like, well, because I didn't know that the third one, I think it's London. I'm not positive. I didn't know that was not a part of the thing. I thought it was just the Washington D.C. and the Vatican were entities of their own. I didn't know there was a third one.
Yeah, see, well, D.C. is the District of Columbia. It's
Yeah,
not a state. We only have 50 states.
It's not part of the United States. It's its own entity.
Right.
Just like the Vatican
Right.
is not part of any of that. It's its own entity with walls and guns and protection and everything.
Right, yeah.
I didn't know that there was a third. I didn't know that London or whatever it is was the third.
I didn't know about a third one. I knew about these first two, though.
Yeah, because I guess that one over there is the financial. We're the military, and then the Vatican's the religious aspect of whatever. So, but it was interesting to learn something.
Yeah.
So rare these days.
Yeah, that's because nobody wants to teach anybody anything. Yeah.
God, man, you watch these kids fighting these teachers in school. Woo!
There are so many
children.
You know, on Twitter and Facebook, there are so many videos of people fighting each other, and there's always somebody egging them on, no matter how right or how wrong.
And people videoing.
Yeah. So you got somebody holding the camera, and you got all these people going, "Oh yeah." You know,
they're trying to get instant fame, instant success. I'm surprised they stopped yelling "World Star."
Yeah, it's nuts. I just don't understand.
And what really sucks is they're kids, so they're really bad at filmography. They can't, they can't do this. It's like the action's right here. It's like, come on, man, I want to watch.
Well, I remember being a kid, in school, and when a fight broke out, yeah, we were all standing there, and you'd pick the one that you cared about, you'd pick the one that you wanted to root for, and I mean, you could have done bets, well, I'll bet Jimmy's going to kick Johnny's butt, oh no, Johnny's going to kick Jimmy's butt, and next thing you know, you got another fight off to the side almost, but but that's because we were kids, We didn't want to see Johnny get knifed by Jimmy, We just wanted to see the fight. It was something to break up the tension, But now everybody is, slam his head into the pavement, kick him, what? Come on, it's a fight. Just,
Sometimes it's 3 and 4 and 5 against 1.
Yeah, and that's where I always got in, and I'd
They beat them down, kicking them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's a new world out there.
Yeah, it just makes no sense to me.
I watched a video, going back to the police. I watched a video of 2 cops pull over a guy. He's out of the car, and they're talking to him face to face, and all of a sudden it becomes an altercation. And literally they tase the guy a couple times. The guy still gets away, gets in his car, gets a gun. They have a firefight. Both cops shoot at this guy multiple times. One even reloads. And this guy shoots at them. They must have shot 30 times at that guy, and he drove away. And my question on that thread was, so why do we allow, when 2 cops unload their clips, reload, and shoot at this person, and he drives away, why do we still allow the government to dictate how we can defend ourselves?
I don't see how, especially as close as cops usually park. They usually pull up behind, and the driver's side is away from the other car, so and they're not that far from the car, right? So, I mean, hell, if you can't hit them with the bullet, throw the gun. I mean, come on, you're that close. Pick up a rock, throw it. Why can't you hit something at least hit the car?
Well, listen, I I've witnessed that situation. I didn't have a gun in my hand, but I've witnessed that situation. And in that moment, because the guy I was with, we'd gone to the range a couple times, but in that moment, he was just unloading clips. It wasn't like bap, bap, bap. It was like killed 6 people.
Well, he hit something.
He hit everything, and one of our friends.
Yeah, but
I can laugh about it now because it's been about a dozen years, but
yeah, but when you got a police officer that is supposed to be a professional, these
yeah,
guys.
it's supposed to be trained. But like I said, heat of the moment, man.
Yeah, but they're supposed to be trained for
And
that.
there's 2 of them. They're diving around. They're shooting around a car. Everyone's moving. I don't know if anyone got hit. It literally looked like one of the cops got hit, but I'm sure they were wearing their vests. So
I hope.
After they got back up and started shooting again, later they'll feel that pain. Adrenaline keeps you from feeling it.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, they unloaded clips, and the guy still drove away. So why am I only allowed to have a 10-round magazine? Excuse me, I use the word clips. I know that's the wrong terminology for all you gun nuts out there. I'm not a gun nut. I just have 10.
Well, people can get offended by just about anything, but to me, it's a magazine. It's a clip. I don't care unless it's a revolver. Then I don't care. And then it's a cylinder.
Well, words don't affect me, and so I mean, it's funny. People like, what's your superpower? My superpower is I can offend you without ever being offended myself. I am the offender. Now go fuck yourself.
Gonna have to get you a cape with a big O in the middle on the chest. Offender.
Yeah, it's either that or a real good superpower would be able to make people shit their pants.
Oh, well, Steve was asking when my last range visit was, and it was the last time I was at the range was with you, with Steve.
My last range visit, God, I want to say 3 months ago. It's been a little bit too long, but I've been busy doing nothing. So,
well, nothing is always good.
That and I usually go with Joanne, so she doesn't have a lot of time all the time.
Well, let's see.
Dude, I love her AR more than mine.
I always liked hers better than yours too.
Yeah.
I can say that because right now
We both got a little bit of yellow fever.
Yep.
That's because I wouldn't date an American woman if they paid me to, because these bitches are crazy and stupid, ignorant, and want way too much without giving any. Oops, did I say that out loud?
Yes, you did.
Dun, 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 the offender.
Well, there is something going on with Facebook. Now, that's twice that the video just stopped. It says we're still going.
Well, it's because, I'm saying things that they don't allow to be said on Facebook.
Yeah, so we're just...
You got to have the Democratic hard line. Otherwise, Facebook will just cancel you. Because this is no longer a constitutional republic. This is now a democratic socialist state. And it's going to devolve into communism faster than you think it is. Oh, I'm not going to let that happen. Yeah, you are. Just like everyone else, you're going to acquiesce. You're going to complain on social media. I can't believe they're doing this. As it happens. Do you believe it? Oh, now we all have to do this. Yeah, because we all let it happen. At least we have social media to pacify us.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry, but not really that pacified.
Yeah, you are. I don't see you out there at the protests, so we're pacified.
That's because right now, most of the protests that I see going on isn't worth the time.
Yeah, that's the ones you see. That's the ones that are in the news. Those are the ones that are being publicized. So you don't see the protests with the people that are standing at the Capitol right now in Olympia with signs that say Inslee and fucking what's her butt need to go. They won't show you those signs.
Yeah.
They'll just show you the pussy hat people going, my rights have been violated because I have a penis and want to go to the women's locker room.
Yeah, see, fine. I think if that's the case, no problem. But check your penis at the door.
I would have to say that
If somebody's standing to the side with a butcher knife that says, "Okay,"
I'm gonna say no. Don't even let them in sans pene. No, no. These people are mentally ill, and the longer we coddle them, the worse it's gonna be.
I do agree. But like I said, if you want to go into the girls' bathroom, check
No.
your penis at the door.
No. If you want to go in the girls' bathroom, be born a woman.
Well,
If you want to be a transgender, let's make a family bathroom. They have them all over. There's
Yeah.
men's, and then families and handicap like segregated.
yeah,
Oh, did he say segregated? Oh my God. Yes, segregated. Get away from our children. Go in that bathroom.
yeah, I agree. They can go into the unisex bathroom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it's for.
Yeah. So I do agree with you there.
And that's like the sports thing. Why not have their own leagues? Oh, because there's so few of them, there would be no teams.
I don't know.
Well, I've only heard of 2 swimmers. I've only heard of 3 track stars. I've only heard of a couple of soccer players. Oh, excuse me, football. So, I mean, there ain't a team out there.
Well, I don't know. You could probably get a team going like in San Francisco. You know, the San Francisco Queens. You know.
Yes, I believe that.
and you know,
How about reparations? Speaking of San Francisco, how about reparations? Oh my goodness.
you know, Capitol Hill up here. Hell, you could probably get one going there. You know, the Seattle Sluts. You know, anything. You know, I mean, there's enough. There's enough of them that like to watch and play sports that I think, you know, then you'd be able to get a few teams up anyway.
Make their own then.
Yeah. But I don't think that men ought to be allowed to compete on women's sports. I mean, if you want to be a guy and you want to be, say, a shuffleboard or pool, you know, you want to play billiards against the women, that's fine, you know, because there again, that is all up here. That isn't physical, you know.
Yeah, I can agree.
Okay.
Shuffleboard, pool. I don't know. What's that one where they throw the ball, Skogie or whatever it's called.
I can't remember. Yeah.
And then maybe curling.
Yeah.
That's not so much physical for the people that launched the thing, but the guy that's doing the sweeping.
Yeah. You know, so you know, but yeah, there I can, you know, not a big deal, okay, because it's all in the mind. It has nothing to do really with being physical or stronger or faster or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, so if I truly believe that if a man wants to compete in female sports, then he has to be able to put his head up against a wall, bend over, pick up a chair, and then stand up. Because only women can do that. Men cannot do it. It's a physical impossibility. I do not know why. But they can do it. But a man, they have to jerk to pull up, where a woman can just pick up the chair and stand up slowly like it was nothing. Now, I used to joke around with my sister and my mother, you know, that the reason is because they got that counterweight in the back. You know, if I had a booty that big, I could do it too, you know, but no. But no, you can't do it. Yeah. But no, men, their sports should be separate from female sports. I think that the women's sport, women should be able to play basketball just like the men, but not on men teams. I think that men should be able to do the what you call it, the swimming, the synchronized swimming, but not on women's teams. Maybe
I don't know.
because
I don't think that would make much impact if there was uh, mixed female male in a synchronized swimming team.
I do,
As a
because
matter
it
of
would be
fact, it might be better
it would be
for
funnier.
aerial activities if a guy throws the girl up kind of thing because he's got the strength to do it. Might make them better.
It would be funnier because guys don't float like women do. Which is why they can do the synchronized swimming. So, but now I did see a clip of some guys doing synchronized swimming, and it was funny, but they were trying to be funny too. So, but, yeah, they couldn't do it anywhere near as well. But yeah. So, but no, women are very talented in what they do, and I do.
Thomas Merkley Jr.
Well, I believe that women can do whatever a man can do, and a man can do whatever a woman can do, not counting a woman can't get another woman pregnant and a man can't have a baby. Okay. But other than that, yeah. But there are physical things physically that men can do that women can't, and women can do that men can't. So I do believe that if you want to compete, it ought to be a competition within the sex. Although I have seen some girls playing baseball that could just knock the snot out of any guy that was playing.
Baseball's another one because they're not. It's not a competition where there's actual physical interaction between the people.
Yeah.
It's just, can you hit the ball hard? Can you throw it from center field to second play? Can you catch?
Yeah.
So that one could be a
mixed teams on that would be all right.
But like football, no. Baseball, yeah. Basketball, no.
Yeah.
Soccer, probably not.
But then again, with baseball, they could also do it where it's guys against the girls, where they're competing. Because I tell you, man, there are some of these females that can just kick the shit out of you when it comes to baseball.
I've seen it in softball.
Yeah. So
the softball team kick the shit out of a men's softball team.
Yeah. And those are always fun anyway, So
It is what it is.
Yeah.
It's just it's these cross dressers that annoy me. They're not transgender. They just say they are. They're just cross dressers and they're groomers. Oh my god.
Okay, now I'm not following. I'm not following what Steve says here. He says, and then there is that general. LOL. What general?
The general?
What general?
The insurance guy? What are you talking about, Steve? Clarify.
Yeah, come on, dude.
Elucidate.
Yeah, what general are you talking about?
General Mathis? Lieutenant Colonel Coward? That's an actual guy. Lieutenant Colonel Coward was an actual officer. I think he was in the British military in the lead up to Desert Storm. I was like, that's a bad name to have if you're in the military, man.
Okay. Transgender and government.
Transgender and government. Oh, yeah. Just like our health advisor. Oh my God. What about the guy that stole the suitcases? Or how about the new? I think it's the new. Is it the Energy Department of Energy? Anyway, the new guy. So I'm watching. Can't believe a word she says at the press conference. Jean Pierre, and it's like, well, what are his qualifications? Well, he's gay. Well, has he ever done this job before? Well, he's gay. What's on his resume? Oh, he's gay. Okay, well, I guess he can do the job.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit about his love life. Can he do the job? What are his goals for the fucking job?
Yeah. See, I'll agree with you there. I don't care if you're
Yeah.
gay. Yeah. It doesn't matter. It doesn't make you any better at your job unless it's in a drag bar, you know? Uh,
And even then, just because you're gay, if you can't pour drinks, bitch, dominoes.
yeah. So, no, I don't really care, you know? If you can do the job, do the job, you know? But bring something to it.
Who you love and how you want to love them has no bearing on me until you force it in my face.
There you go. So, let's see here. He says he doesn't know his name. Well, neither do we, Steve, so don't worry about it.
His name isn't important. It's his sexual orientation that we care about.
Well, there went that last argument we just had.
All I'm saying is, if they're gay, they're going to straighten it out.
Now, that was kind of an oxymoron.
Hey, I'm not a moron. I'm a lesson. Learn your lesson from a moron.
Yeah, well, if they're gay, they're going to straighten it out.
Something has arisen between us.
Oh, boy. That was actually good. I like that. Well, sir, we have made our hour.
I think we did it.
Yep.
I think we done did it. Yay.
Yeah, that was fun.
Steve, he's our man. If he can't do it, fuck it.
Oh, okay. Well, now he says, sorry, that was Dr. Rachel Levine.
Rachel Levine?
Yeah,
Oh, that's the one?
that's what he says.
Our health administrator?
Yeah. I thought it was a general, but no. He says that he thought it was a general, but it was a doctor.
I thought, well, what's the one that was wearing the military uniform with the skirt and stuff? I thought, are we thinking of the same person and they were just dressed like that?
Michelle Obama?
No. Our next president? Chelsea Clinton? What?
Yeah, no telling.
Yeah, I thought he was wearing a military uniform too, but maybe that is the director of health, and it's not a general.
Yeah, there's
Still.
probably one in there somewhere.
Still,
Yeah.
look at the way they're just lining them up in our government. Wow, we're so progressive.
Yeah.
We're regressing.
Yeah. I've always said I really.
Putin, push the button, Putin. Just push it.
I've always said I don't really care if it's a male or a female that I work with or work for, as long as they know what they're doing.
And the thing about misgendering them, I've probably said this before, but if I'm gonna go with what I see. If you want to present yourself as a woman and you look like a woman to me, I'm gonna say yes, ma'am, no, ma'am.
Right.
And if you want to look like a man, you present yourself as a man to me, I'm gonna say yes or no, sir.
Right.
But if you're a man trying to be a woman and you look like a man and I say yes, sir, and you say I'm a woman, I'm gonna say fuck off and die.
Yeah.
What? The offender strikes again.
I don't know where this visual just came from.
Uh-oh. Tell us.
But a beautiful woman in a short dress and everything, and yes, ma'am, and you look down and whoa, that's a hell of a girl hanging out your dress.
Little pendulum going.
Yeah.
Excuse me, ma'am. Are you a grandfather clock?
Excuse me, ma'am, but I think you have worms.
I think your tapeworm's coming out. I would like to see Michelle Obama run for president. Imagine all the stuff that would come out.
Yeah, Steve says, yeah, I think it was the uniform that I saw him in.
Yeah, I think it was the uniform because he was wearing the blue, almost looked like a military uniform with the skirt and stuff. Shitty looking hair. God, that for trying to be a woman, that dude is ugly. He's not even a cute dude. He's an ugly person. And I can judge because I'm ugly as fuck too.
Yeah, but you're only ugly from the toes up.
Right?
Yeah. I'm only ugly from the hair down. So.
Get covered, so calm down.
Yeah, you're ugly from the toes up. I'm ugly from the hair down. So
right? Yeah. So we got it. And whichever way you want to look at us, we got it. We got the ugly down. We're ugly. Takes one to know one. You're ugly as fuck. Ain't no makeup gonna cover that face, sir. Yeah.
All righty, my good man.
Hey,
you are a man, right?
No, I am a child.
Oh, okay.
No, I've got the parts of a male, so I'm gonna go with yes.
Yeah, I asked my wife. She said I'm a man, so I can say that.
Hey,
I don't want to
give you permission.
Yeah, I don't want to look down there because chances are she's still got it in her purse.
The shock alone. Where'd it go?
All righty. Well, I'm going to say that's it. So,
hey, thanks everyone that watched. And Steve, take care of yourself, buddy.
Yeah, and thank you for joining us and pitching in here.
Yeah, and thank you for actually reading the goddamn comments so that we could talk to Steve.
Well, you know.
And remember, not all cops are bad.
Yep.
And it is about authoritarianism. They are there for control. So if you just acquiesce, be nice, 9 times out of 10, nothing's going to happen.
Well, if you
act like a jerk, 9 times out of 10, something going to happen.
Just remember, respect usually gets you respect. You give it, you get it.
Respect is what they demand, and if you give it to them,
yeah, most of them will give you the same respect back.
They'll give you the leniency, yeah.
So anyway, thank you all for joining us. Thank you, Steve, for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it. And Steve, you still have the link, I do believe, to where you could have joined us on screen too, but
he don't want to be seen. He just wants to be heard.
Well, there is that, you know. But he
can
put his foot on top of his desk.
Eagles are going to lose. Oh, hey, before we go, I saw a post. I don't know if it's real or not, but I saw this cool post. This guy apparently in 2015 predicted the next 10 winners of the Super Bowl. And if the Eagles win today, he's going to be correct all the way till to today. I can't remember what his next 3 or 4 are, but that's kind of fun. It's like he got Biff's book from Back to the Future.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Anyway,
I wonder if we can get a copy of that book.
I'd love to. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's real or just an empty book, like the prop. If you can order a copy of the prop, or if it's just a one-off thing and you can't get it, because that'd be cool. Because like I have the script for MASH. I have a script, the script book of it, and got a couple other movies. I think Pink Floyd's The Wall and stuff. It's kind of fun.
Huh. Oh, cool. Alrighty, well, sir, you have a good one.
Now we're leaving.
Yeah, now we're going.
You have a fantastic day, everybody, and you too, Gary.
And welcome. Thanks for watching another exciting episode of You Must Be Joking.
Right.
There you go. All right, we'll see you later. Y'all take care.